Ever wondered what the difference between validation and verification in software development is? Well, you're not alone. These two terms are often used interchangeably, but they refer to two distinct processes that are integral to the world of software development. They may sound similar, but their roles and impacts on the final product are quite different. At the end of the video, I will present a mnemonic for how to easily distinguish validation from verification. Understanding the distinction between validation and verification is crucial for anyone involved in software development, whether you're a seasoned developer, a newcomer to the field, or even a project manager overseeing a team. These processes form the backbone of quality assurance, ensuring that the software we create not only functions as intended, but also meets the needs and expectations of the end user. Today, we will demystify these two terms, and by the end of this video, you will be able to clearly distinguish between validation and verification. Scene script. Let's start with verification. What exactly is it in the context of software development? Picture this. You're constructing a puzzle. But before you begin, you check the box to ensure all the pieces are there. That's verification. In the realm of software development, verification is a similar process, but instead of puzzle pieces, you're checking the elements of a software product during its development. So, why is verification important? Imagine building that puzzle without checking the pieces first. You might spend hours only to find a piece missing at the end. Similar to this, without verification, developers could spend countless hours building a software that fails to function as intended. Verification helps to avoid such scenarios by ensuring that the product is being developed correctly from the start. In practical terms, verification is implemented through a series of checks and balances throughout the software development lifecycle. It involves reviewing design documents, conducting inspections, and running static analysis on the code. These steps ensure that the software meets the predefined specifications and that the product is shaping up as it should. Let's illustrate this with an example. Suppose you're developing a software for a bank. One of the features is a function that calculates interest. During the verification process, you would review the design documents to ensure that the function is designed to calculate interest according to the bank's rules. You'd inspect the code to see that it's written correctly, and you'd run static analysis to check for any potential errors. If everything checks out, then you've successfully verified that part of the software. But remember, verification is not a one-time process. It's a continuous cycle that takes place at every stage of software development, from requirement gathering to coding, to ensure that the product is being built according to the set specifications. In simple terms, verification is the process of ensuring that the product is being developed in the right way. It's about making sure all the pieces fit together to form the picture you intended. Just like your puzzle, without the right pieces in the right places, the final image wouldn't quite come together. Now that we understand verification, let's move on to validation. What does it entail? Well, the term validation might sound complex, but it's actually a straightforward concept in the world of software development. If verification is about ensuring that we're building the product right, validation is all about making sure we're building the right product. It's the process of evaluating software during or at the end of the development process to determine whether it satisfies the specified requirements. Let's dive a little deeper. Validation is all about end goals. It ensures that the product, system, or software meets the business needs and user requirements. Now you might wonder, how do we implement this in software development? Firstly, validation is conducted through dynamic testing and other methods. It's about executing the software and checking the output with the expected outcome. If the software behaves as expected and meets the requirement, then it's validated. Let's take a real-world example. Suppose you're developing a mobile banking app. What will be of utmost importance? Of course, the security of user data and seamless transactions. So you'll validate the software by testing whether it meets these specific requirements or not. Another important aspect of validation is user acceptance testing. This is where the actual software users test the software to make sure it can handle required tasks in real-world scenarios, according to their requirements. In software development, validation is important because it helps to build the right product as per the user's needs and expectations. It helps in identifying and fixing bugs and other issues early in the development process, which in turn saves time and resources. Validation is not just a one-time activity, it's an ongoing process of checking and rechecking as the product evolves, ensuring that the product remains on the right track throughout its development. So you see, validation is not just about testing the functionality of a product, but also about making sure that it's what the user needs and wants. In essence, validation is the process of ensuring that the right product is being developed. So we have our definitions of verification and validation, but how do they compare to each other? Let's start by saying that validation and verification are two sides of the same coin, both integral to the software development process. However, they differ in their objectives, methodologies, and the point in the development process when they are applied. Verification is about checking, are we building the product right? It's a preventive process that takes place during the development stage, focusing on the quality and integrity of the product. Verification ensures that the software system meets specified requirements and that we are correctly implementing the planned design. It's about making sure that we are on the right track during the development process. On the other hand, validation answers the question, are we building the right product? It's a detective process that happens after the software has been developed. Validation checks that the product actually meets the user's needs and fulfills its intended purpose. It's about confirming that we have arrived at the right destination after the journey of development. Now let's talk about the methods used in these processes. Verification typically uses methods like reviews, walkthroughs, and inspections to check documents and files. It's a desk-checking process, often without involving actual execution of the system. Validation, however, uses methods like black box testing, white box testing, and non-functional testing. It involves actual execution of the system, with the aim to find out if the system works in real-life scenarios. The significance of these differences in software development is profound. Verification, being a preventive process, helps in early detection of discrepancies in the system, saving time and effort in the later stages of development. Validation, being a detective process, ensures that the final product serves its intended purpose, ensuring user satisfaction. So, while verification and validation might seem like they're doing the same thing, they're actually addressing two different aspects of quality assurance. One checks the process while the other checks the product. One prevents errors while the other detects them. One saves us from going off track while the other ensures we've arrived at the right destination. In the end, it's like having a map and a compass when you're on a journey. Verification is the map that guides your path, and validation is the compass that tells you if you've reached your destination. Neither is sufficient on its own, but together they ensure a successful journey in software development. As you can see, while verification and validation might seem similar, they each play a unique and critical role in the software development process. To summarize, let's highlight the key differences between verification and validation. As we've discussed, verification is all about the process. It's the method of checking that a product meets specified requirements at every stage during development. It's the answering of the question, are we building the product right? It's the inspections, the reviews, the walkthroughs. It's the prevention of defects by ensuring that the system is correctly designed and built. On the other hand, validation is about the product. It's the procedure to evaluate software during or at the end of the development process to determine whether it satisfies the business requirements. It answers the question, are we building the right product? It's the actual testing and quality assurance. It's the detection of defects and the confirmation that the system fulfills its intended purpose. Understanding these differences is crucial. Verification ensures that your software is being built according to the correct specifications, while validation ensures that the final product fulfills its intended purpose and meets the user's needs. Both are necessary, and both are integral to a successful and efficient software development process. They are two sides of the same coin, and one cannot exist without the other. They work together to ensure that your software is not only built correctly, but also serves its intended purpose effectively. Remember, knowing the difference between verification and validation can greatly impact the quality and success of your software development process. So there you have it, a clear distinction between validation and verification in software development. We've journeyed through the definitions, comparisons, and key differences between these two vital processes. Now, I will give you my mentioned mnemonic, which may help you to differentiate verification from validation. Verification contains the word verify, which leads us to review. Reviews or static testing such as ad hoc reviews, technical reviews, inspections, and audits are a testing discipline that provides around 80% of the information. Verification is about ensuring that the development process is carried out correctly and that the respective requirements are met. Please keep in mind that today, some of these testing techniques are carried out with respective test automation tools like code quality analyzing tools. On the other hand, there is validation, which incorporates the value topic. Thus, value means the stakeholders, customers, or users' value. Therefore, validation is about making sure the end product meets the user's needs and expectations. Here, dynamic testing like functional tests, load as well as performance tests, security tests, etc., which assess the system's behavior whilst testing, provides the most vital information about the test object's validation. Remember, understanding these differences is not just an academic exercise, but a practical tool to improve the quality of your software. By correctly implementing verification and validation, you can ensure your software is not only built right, but is also the right build for your users. As you embark on your next software development project, I encourage you to apply this knowledge, ensuring that your software is both verified and validated. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content on software development. Please take advantage of our other videos. Until next time, keep coding and happy testing.